Hey guys, I'm going to do a how-to video on how to make shipwrecked Howdahs, or this could work for any kind of rough and ready race like Orks or pirates, and anything that you want to do. This is what it'll end up looking like. Let's get it more centered. It's got a roughed up surface, broken edges, glued together, and there's only two tools that you really need. I'm going to use three. I'm going to use this Dremel tool here, get this back out, to kind of rough it up a little bit to get the grooves, but let's get started. You're going to need a pliers, because you want to have these rough edges. See these rough edges where all of them are sticking out like that? A little bit of spider webbies there. So, real simple. You just grab it with your pliers like this, snap it off. You'll get a couple of frayed ends there, and that'll paint up really nice. That'll look really good. You don't have to go flat. I suggest you go at an angle. See how I have it kind of sticking out? That side there. Sometimes you'll get that side to come free. Sometimes you won't. But it gives a nice effect. It'll dry brush up beautifully. So I'm going to just rip these up real quick. And this doesn't take long at all. I think you can go to Hobby Lobby and get a box of, I want to say 1,000 for about $7. Sometimes they won't break even, then you get even a better edge.
I think they were 3.5 at Michael's.
Yeah, and if you have 50% off, right, you can knock that price in half. Or if they run a kind of a sale. Popsicle sticks are very, very cheap. If you want to do like a ruined, doesn't even have to be ruined, like a wooden fortress or that kind of stuff, you could do very well for yourself by picking up just a box, because like each one's like 3/8 of an inch. So take 3/8 of an inch, times it by, I don't know, 1,000 or whatever comes in the box. Probably take at least half of that, and that'll be your total range. Probably more like 3/4. And you know, you can see where you can make many, 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 many feet of just wood walls. Try and break them at different angles. The whole idea here is I wanted it to look random. I'm making a seafaring raiding army, for lack of a better way to put it. And I'll show you how it looks when it's done. But here it is. Give them a little more together. Nice busted up edges. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to create all these wreckage grooves, and it's hard to see from the front, but from the side I've chewed up the edges as well. So I'll show you how to do that. Now this isn't a necessary step. It's by no means a necessary step. Don't go out and drop $50 to $100 on one of these tools to do this. You know, unless you're going to be doing a big project and you want to do it through the whole project, you know, then if you want to, you know, dump the money, dump the money. And as always, read your safety equipment, you know, be safe. These things go incredibly fast. That'll cut you in the blink of an eye. So, always be safe, try and work away from yourself, that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chew up my sides here real quick. Let's see if I can do this where you guys can see it. I'm just going to go groove, groove, groove. You'll get some fuzz there. Just rub that off with your finger. You actually want to have some rough edges sticking around. There. Okay. So now I've roughed up my edges. Now I hold it down on the table. Hold it down on the table. Now, like I said, you always move away from yourself. I just want to cut some lines, and I want to have them not only go next to each other, but cross over each other too. Make them look like they've been ripped apart. Can I get it where it'll focus? See that? You want it to look rough. The rougher it is, the better it'll dry brush, better it'll ink. So I'm going to just do all these real quick. Probably easiest just to hold it down. See how I'm holding it down? You don't have to do many. Like about 3. 1, 2, 3. Try and do them in slightly different areas. You don't want it to be too symmetrical. That's the whole idea about when you're doing ruins. Usually the goal is to make everything symmetrical. That's one of the things I like about working on things like orc terrain or raiders, is you don't have to be symmetrical. You can just be quick and messy, and that's always easier. I mean, it's easier and harder. It's harder in the sense that it's harder to get a groove going and make everything happen the way you want it to happen. Yeah, I'll do this again down here. There. You want to knock off most of it, but you want some of that rough edging sticking out. Because like I said, that's going to make it more interesting. But I was running across my some of the old figures that I had gotten and some of the figures that my wife recently picked up, and I got this idea for a seafaring land raiding party. And I'll show you how this could look. This is also kind of under budget terrain, because you can make this force very cheaply. Provided you can find the figures. I'm always a person that appreciates alternate figures, for lack of a better phrase. That's not that there aren't a lot of beautiful figures out there. But some mass-produced plastic toys have a lot of potential if you're willing to give them a little bit of your love and attention. And that saves you money to, you know, get higher end figures for other games that you like to play. Ben's RPG did a really good job of, he wanted more D&D figures, and he went and got the same stuff I like to get, which is Mage Knight. You know, they're not the prettiest, but they do the job. And at the end of the day, whatever gets your buddies to go, you know, wow, you know, gets you to feel kind of good about your own hobby skills, you know, that's an accomplishment. It's important to me. Okay, so now, in a matter of about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, I've got all the rough stuff that I need to make an entire Howdah for one of my raiding party beasts. So let's take a look at these guys. Okay. Nice chewed up looking shore wreckage kind of thing, which is exactly what I wanted it to look like. Okay. Now I've got 3 back pieces that are going to be of a particular rough length. So I look for the 3 pieces I'm least satisfied with. I'll take this one, I'll take this one, and I'll take this one. And then you just roughly check it. Okay, it's about yay long, so I know I gotta bust it off about there. So you just take it. Okay, that's a beautiful looking ripped up edge. Huh? That's one. This one's about that length already. And then take another one. Just gotta take a little bit off. Okay. Now the main thing here is you want to be able to hide your glue. Remember, you put your nasty sides down. Oh, this one I forgot to hit. And you don't really need to hit your bottom ones, because only a portion of it's going to be showing. So, go like so. Let's get a little more over so you can see it. And you want them to be at kind of goofy angles to each other. You want it to kind of look ramshackle. And then you want to place them the way you want them. If you have any fuzz you want to knock off, this is the time to do it. And the other thing is you want gaps. Usually, as a modeler, we do everything in our power to try and hide gaps. With wreckage, you want to make gaps. You want it to look raggedy. Oh, okay. There we go. Alright. Okay, so this is what I got. This is the new one. This is the old one. Okay. So now I'm going to glue these together. Let's see if I can lower the angle a little bit. Let's see, does that help? Yeah, that lowers the angle quite a bit. Okay, so I got my hot glue gun here. Oh, you know what? This is my broken one. Honey, can I steal yours?
These ones.
This will be done in 5 seconds. Just throw this gun out.
Give the trash can.
Oh, right, alright. Okay, after our technical difficulties. Ooh, and she's got it on high. Okay, this is one of the times I like to use it on high. Usually I want to use it on low for 2 reasons. It cools, which means it hardens faster, and you don't burn yourself accidentally as badly when you do it. When you do touch yourself, but I just go dot, dot, dot. You gotta be accurate enough to figure out the line of the board. Now this will create a little spider web along the bottom, but nobody's gonna see that. And you can pluck it right off with a pair of tweezers. This is actually the fastest part of the job when you do it, but it's also one of the most critical parts of the job, in the simple fact that this is what they're going to see. So whatever, I mean, if you make it look real nice, straight and pretty now, you're gonna lose that rough and ready look that you were trying to get earlier. And since this is almost done, I'll go on, I'll talk a little bit about what these are going to be on. I ran across, if you ever gone to Joe's Crab Shack, they've got those hanging lobsters and crabs. And they're real low detail, they're not real high detail, but they're impressive in size compared to miniatures. And if you have a skill with a brush, you can overcome a lack of detail and make it work for you. This one's actually quite a bit bigger. See how tight this one is? My original's pretty tight, the other one's a little more open. But that's fine. That's fine. Okay, now, here you go, baby girl. Now I'm going to show you what this is going to be on. Now, it's not the prettiest looking creature, but it's huge. It's very large. I don't have a figure handy to actually show this, but you'll see in a minute. Now, it's got an obvious thing, made in China, but we're not going to worry about that. That's where our Howdah comes in. Along the back, if you get any problems with your little spider webs, plastic spider webs, pardon me, again, then you slap it over the top like that, all of a sudden, that's pretty impressive looking. Imagine that coming at your gaming group. Kind of interesting, huh? Okay, so let's grab these and I'll show you what the raiding party looks like. Now the legs don't come all the way down. Let me get it set up for you so you can actually see it. It's got a group of okay, sorry, I'm probably not getting the camera angle really good here because I'm setting this up. And you'll notice that the legs don't come all the way down to the ground. That can be fixed. You just affix some stones to it, which lifts them up off the ground, and all of a sudden it goes from a figure that has an obvious defect, which the legs aren't touching the ground, to now it actually looks really impressive climbing over terrain coming at you. But that's an example, pardon my shaking there, of how this can look. Check out this bad boy. Look at that guy. And that's a 25mm tall figure, 25-28. I wish I had a figure down here that I could show you scale-wise, but these are all pretty much in the same scale. It's got a D&D ballista on the front, another D&D ballista on the front, but I mean that would look very impressive coming at you in a game, be it a D&D game or whatever. These are some old figures that I found that are kind of crustacean style, so I thought crustaceans are just appropriate. This is another figure that's a crustacean style, but this is what I'm talking about. Oh, and a small turtle Howdah, 4 turtles, with another Howdah on the back. So it's got a lot of different potential, you know. I particularly like the fact that it's like over the ground and it's crawling at you. I almost can't even get in the picture. So that would really be impressive. So this is something I was working on while waiting for paint to dry on eBay orders and other jobs. So hope you guys like it and hope this was worth your while. And like I said, if you can find these and you want to make a really quick, interesting game, I think the total material cost of those, well, they were $1 a piece, I believe. So for $3 plus, I don't know, probably a nickel's worth of popsicle sticks, going to a dollar store and picking up a bag of sea creatures. Just make sure it's got 4 turtles. I mean, you can totally make this. And it doesn't take very long. It doesn't require a lot of skill work. It's just a good time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I gave you guys some ideas. Love you. Bye-bye.